Microsoft Copilot Business just exposed one of the biggest opportunities I've seen in AI in over 3 years. Repackaging AI to make money. Yep, that's right. This is something I've been doing for quite some time, but I haven't talked about a whole lot. It's like software as a service, only a heck of a lot easier because we're going to be using AI and APIs to create everything. This is the simple process of repackaging AI to get paid. And today, we're going to show you the news Microsoft unveiled, how it works, and what it's going to teach you about how to make money online with your own business. So smash the like button and pay close attention because it's time to go to work. All right, so as we can see here, Microsoft is getting into the Copilot for business area, where they are defining the future of work for small businesses. This is really important because focusing on small businesses shows little categories and it shows gaps in the marketplace. So when we understand this and we see what's going on, we can see they say available today, GPT 5.2 in Microsoft 365 Copilot. Or over here where they're saying 365 Copilot, the future of work for small business. And again over here talking about Microsoft Ignite and how it works with different agents for different business uses. This is super important because once we understand exactly what they're doing, everything starts to change. Because let's face it, ChatGPT already exists. Microsoft isn't really doing anything new with it. Copilot really isn't a different product, it's a different branding. Ergo, repackaging AI and interfaces is the key to making money in this model. This is super important. Now, before we go any further, I want you to know that I've made a lot of money by repackaging AI, but the vast majority of people watching make money videos trying to make money online make nothing. So we want to look at this like a business. We want to follow all the rules, be ethical, be upfront, and good. This is super important because we need to know what we're getting into. First of all, what we want to look at is the news and what they're actually doing. What Microsoft and OpenAI is doing is actually signaling something bigger. Because when Microsoft pushes Copilot everywhere, promotes their API use, encourages agent builders, and normalizes AI inside boring tools like Excel, Word, and different things like that, they are literally saying the models are solved, now go build interfaces. This is the same shift we saw with hosting companies where they had WordPress themes and their own cPanel packaging and everything like that. Or payment processors where they had checkout tools. This is where PayPal literally exploded. Or email platforms getting into funnel builders and things like that. The model is no longer the product, the user interface is now the product. That brings us to part 2, which is the hidden reality, what most people miss. The raw AI is unusable for most real people. That means ChatGPT for most real people, I think they estimated only saves 1 hour per week, which for my business, it's literally 10x'd my output by being able to use ChatGPT and other AI tools. Why am I able to get 10x? Well, the vast majority is only saving 1 hour. That's because I know how to use it. Business owners don't want chat windows, they don't want prompts, they don't want tokens, settings, or choose your model. What they want is a button, a form, a calculator, or a tool that does one thing. This is why ChatGPT will never be the final end product. It's kind of like a platform. Super important to realize because once we realize that that's what's going on here, then we could go out there and make the button, the form, the calculator, or the tool. This is something I do all the time. We do this in Blog Profit Network, AI Profit Scoop, personality prompts, and more, where what we're doing is we're putting a different theme, a different skin, if you will, on the AI so that it does something different. This is huge. When we start to see this, what you're going to notice is you can make a tool like this that's basically using an API from an AI tool where you can go in and say something like magic or whatever, and it'll analyze the niches using AI, but what you're seeing is a very easy user interface. What you don't see is the prompting and all the tools behind it. You don't even need to know how that works. You just use the tool, and it's as if by magic, you're getting the end result. Or like this one here, where it actually goes through and does a content strategy for you. You could literally put your website, URLs, or whatever it is, and it'll do the entire strategy using AI. This is something that's very well thought out, but it didn't take a lot of time to build, and I'm tapping into an API that already exists. Much like Copilot's doing here, where they're rebranding ChatGPT within their products, to get a specific result. And that brings us to part 3, which is the real opportunity. AI repackaging. The core idea is to take raw AI, the API, the tool, the chatgpt, wrap it in a purpose-built interface, and then sell it as a tool. I see people do this all the time. 11 Labs does this. Many other programs do this where they are taking an AI, packaging in what they know will help, maybe ideas, maybe prompts, maybe tools, maybe a structure of prompts, or maybe an image generator or something like that, where they're taking that and making it work. Years ago, when AI first came out in 2023, when it was just getting popular, I was working with a friend and she was in a business that literally used different AI and different API calls to that AI to get a structured output of content. And at the time, they were charging $15 to $50 for one piece of content that literally you could create on ChatGPT for pennies. Why were they able to do that? Because the interface was simple. I can go in there, load a bunch of keywords, boom. At the end of the day, I had 50, 100, or even more beautifully written pieces of content that were designed to rank in Google and everything like that. So what they did is they repackaged AI, and because of that, they made millions and millions of dollars. Again, remember, this is a business. Most people make nothing. We need to understand this like a business and look at what's really going on. This is not about just software as a service, big tech, and it's not super complicated. What it is using an API call like Gemini, which is my favorite. You can use Manus has an API call, ChatGPT. A lot of these places, even keyword tools, have their own API calls, and you can create your own software based on their tools using the API and your own skin, formatting, design, and logic. This is super important because we can go through and frame this for various different niches. Think about this for a minute. If you were to look at all the AI tools that came out, including like AI resume builders, which gets like 66,000 searches a month, and I even loaded this with like 100, actually I think 250 different AI tools. You can see that the search volume is over 63 million, and some of them are very, very niche tools, like maybe a tool for dentists or realtors or something like that. When you repackage this and you have this structure in a different way, you have a business that excels beyond what other people are doing because you're able to think about it different. ChatGPT doesn't have the wherewithal or the manpower to go out there and make ChatGPT for dentist or ChatGPT for this group. That's what Microsoft Copilot is doing here, is they're actually going out there and making this for small businesses, where it's designed for small businesses, not yet for specific businesses, but for small business. If we were able to do this and make an AI that works just for plumbers or content creators or podcasters or video developers or bloggers, that's where the magic happens. I actually branded a Gemini type tool using the API for my Blog Profit Network, and it makes a blog tool that installs on their WordPress. I made it all with AI, and we're doing really, really well with it. That's what it's all about, is niche framing, getting something different. We're actually working on packaging one for gym owners. This is something that's very, very strategic. And when you go through and notice that people are looking this stuff up and going through and saying, okay, yes, we want this. This is what we want. If you were to look up like dentist AI or gym owner AI, something like that, you'll start to find what's going on. If you were to do gym leads, you can see people are looking up gym leads. Now we can go through and make an AI for that. This is super, super powerful. And I think a lot of people are missing this because we're still in the hype of using AI to make content, which is good. We're going to want to do that to promote the tool we make, but going through and repackaging AI through the APIs is a game changer. Part 4, when we get into what AI with a different skin really means. What does this mean? A skin isn't just colors. A skin is what inputs exist, what outputs are allowed, what the user can't mess up, having those guardrails, having those buffers, what the user questions, what questions does it answer? Different things like that is very important. Now, when we look at this, let's take a look at some examples and where the money is. These are basic examples. Some are for businesses, publishers, some are for job seekers, clinics, and more. When we start to look at this, we can see GPT API used for resume rewriter. Medical intake summarizer, although I wouldn't do that one because you're going to get into all kinds of different laws and things. However, a local SEO meta generator could be perfect, or a policy explainer. just last night, we were going through our healthcare, and of course, they raised our prices exponentially, as they are with many people with the Affordable Care Act. And I was going through with ChatGPT to explain my policy and how it works, because I don't know if you're like me, but it seems like insurance talk is for nobody to read. Like, it's deliberately unable to be understood. And going through and making a policy explainer would be actually really good. Maybe you can go out there and say, something like, what does deductible mean? And I actually found out we were using a tool. Someone had made a tool for this, and we were able to go through and use that tool and find out why one of my kids' insurance went up like $500 and how to fix it. But when we go through and do something like, what does deductible mean? Look at this. You got like 44,000 people a month. Healthcare is the top result. If we go through and we explain this in regular term, because the website doesn't do that great of a job, we can make something that can actually work, and it ties to health insurance, which is lots of money. Again, not going to be on the health side, but we can talk about policies and what it means. Or a loan pre-qualifier, content spinner, where you're making like something that'll help you rewrite something. Obviously make it safe. You don't want to do plagiarism or anything like that. But if we can go through and make something that'll rewrite it for sales, or rewrite it for SEO, or rewrite it for an email or something like that, very, very important. Or you could do different business generators and things like that. What we're looking at here is the same API. Copilot uses ChatGPT. That is what is in their products. And when you look at it, they're literally rebranding it. So if I was to go over here and look at the Copilot tool, this is just a different skin for ChatGPT. And because they're Microsoft, they're able to do all kinds of crazy stuff that works really, really well. And you can see it's literally just using ChatGPT. That's all it is. And starting to understand that is a big game changer, because now you're going to see, okay, I can make things. All I need to do is think about what's different. And that's where we get into part 5, which is the money logic. What can this get into? 1, tools beat content. Tools rank higher, they get bookmarked, they get used over and over, and they convert into sales. 2, tools justify monetization. You can have a one-time fee, a subscription, use it to generate leads, or have an affiliate marketing backend. Also, tools scale sideways. One tool can go to 50 different niches if it's positioned correctly. You're going to have the same back end, different front end. I do this all the time, and this is sideways content at its best, but unlike just regular content, this is interactive. Next up, what we want to look at is part 6, the business model. What is this going to look like? And again, I'm going to have some different videos in the description going more in detail in how I build these, how I grow them, and how I come up with the ideas. And we'll have a list of keywords you can use if you want to get involved as well. First of all, what we're going to do is pick a boring pain. People ask this question over and over and over and over again. A lot of people ask, how do I find a good niche? I went through and made 2 tools based on the API that help you with niche marketing. They get used pretty much every day. I haven't promoted them, but they get used all the time. 2, we're going to build a single purpose interface, inputs only that they need. No open chat, no thinking required. We're going to make it one and done. Boom. Number 3, we connect the AI via API. We can use Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, or any API that we want that gives us the use. Obviously, make sure you're doing things ethical, disclose what AI you're using, and everything like that. Always have a privacy policy as well. Next, we're going to lock the output. We're going to make it so the output is presented in the way we want. Formatted how we want, templates, formats, guardrails, Excel files, HTML, codes, on and on we go. We want to make it very, very important and very strategic. Number 5, we're going to monetize it. We can give it away free in exchange for their email and build a list. We can do paid, where we pay them, where we get paid from them a couple bucks a month, 20 bucks a month, or whatever it is, and build a recurring revenue. We can have an affiliate marketing backend where we promote related products. Now, part number 7, why is this the next phase of AI money? Because platforms always move this way. History repeats itself. First era was websites. Then we went to theme builders, social marketing. Then we went to tool builders, funnels. Then we went to page builders, AI. Now we're in the phase of interface builders. And that is what ChatGPT and Microsoft is on the cusp of right now. Only these big businesses can't serve little tiny markets. That's where we come into play, and we don't need something that big to hit a lot of people. I mean, how many dentists are there? How many gym owners are there? There's a lot of people. The model is the new electricity, and the appliance is the money. This is super important. Part number 8, we're going to look for the one-liners. We're going to go through our keyword reports like this and find specific things that people want based on things they're already paying for, things they're already using, things that we can make better, do different, or even make more robust. We want to use these anywhere. If everyone has access to the same AI, the advantage isn't the model, it's the wrapper. AI tools don't win because they're smarter, they win because they're simple. I don't sell AI, I sell buttons that solve problems. This is key. Why does this beat anything else I'm seeing out there, like influencer marketing and SEO and everything like that? It's not a hype cycle. There's no algorithm dependency. There's no explaining prompts, no trust issues. Just click the thing, it does this. That's all there is to it. One and done. If we can keep it simple and we can repackage AI just like Copilot is doing today, I think we can build a really good business. Starting to understand how this works and look at what people want. How to AI. If we go through and do how to AI, you're going to see how to make AI videos, how to get different AIs turned off or on, how to get different output from AI. All different kinds of things is very, very important. Once we start to understand this, like how to humanize AI content or how to build an AI agent or all these different things, super, super important, and we can start to see what people want, build it for them, go a step further, figure out why they want what they want, bake it into our program, repackage the AI, and hopefully make some money. That's how we build businesses here. And if you want to learn more about that, check out the videos in the description. If you want some of the keyword tools and some of the different lists that I used, including the notes, check out AIProfitScoop.com. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next training.